Aloha and welcome to our first online class. This is going to be in your textbooks, Chapter 2, Lesson 1. Okay? And this is about solving equations with rational coefficients. Our essential question that we would like to answer by the end of this lesson is, how can I get x alone? And basically, when you think of an equation, there's a variable in it. Sometimes it's not x. Sometimes that might be another letter. But basically, we always want to get this variable alone. Okay? So, given an equation, 2x plus 5 equals 13, how many of you know how to make x all by itself, or how to get x alone? And that's what we want to do. Of course, this equation here is a little bit more complex. We will get there eventually. Okay, in page 112 of your book, there is the key concept, and it's the inverse property of multiplication. Okay, this is important because when you have a rational number, for example, 7/8, okay, when you have that, right, that's our rational number, 7/8, okay, and the main thing is the coefficient is the number in front of the x or in front of that variable. Okay, so how do I get rid of a 7/8 if it was in front of an x? The key is by multiplying it by the multiplicative inverse, which makes it equal to 1. So in other words, in symbols, we have a over b times b over a equals 1. And that's as long as b does not equal to 0. Okay, so again, we have terms in our equations, and the way it works is we have our coefficient, in this case 3, and our variable, which is x. So in the equation 3/4 c equals 18, the coefficient of c is a rational number, or 3/4. So when we have that rational number, to solve the equation, we want to multiply each side by the multiplicative inverse of the fraction. Okay, so to show you this, I'm going to show you a problem. Okay, so let me get it up. Wait a second. So here we have it. There's our 3/4 c equals 18. And they want you to check your solution. So first step, there's your equation. And in your steps, you should write down the original equation. Because if you solved it and you just copied it wrong from the book, then when I look at your steps, I can figure out, oh, they just did the wrong problem. So here's our 3/4 c equals 18. Second step, multiply each side by the multiplicative inverse of 3/4, which is 4/3. Oh, yes, I want to stay logged on. Okay, then, third step. Once I have it multiplied, you can see how I can cross cancel. My 3/4 is no longer there because by multiplying by the multiplicative inverse, I ended up with just 1. And that gave me c all alone. Then on this side, if we cross cancel, we end up with, it says 4 times 6 equals 18, but that's actually wrong because 4 times 6 is actually, what, 24. So this is supposed to be 24. Let's see here, moving on. So c equals 24. Oh, I see. Okay. No, sorry. They wrote 18 as a fraction. My bad. Sorry. Okay, so c equals 24. And then we check. We have 3/4 c equals 18. That was our original problem. And then we plug in 24 for c. And do we get 18 equals 18? Let's check. So we write 24 as 24 over 1. And then divide by common factors. In this case, the common factor is 4. Therefore, 18 does equal 18, and it is a true sentence. So, let's move on. Okay, so on page 113, you have another example. This one, if you noticed, the problem is now not just equal to a number. The problem has it equal to another fraction. So now you have a coefficient, it's a rational number, which is times the variable, and then then equal to 16.5. Okay, so if you look through these steps, see, write the equation. Rewrite your mixed numbers as improper fractions. Then, what is our coefficient? Our coefficient is 2/3. Our coefficient is 3/2. So we multiply by the multiplicative inverse, which is 2/3. Everything cancels, and we end up with 11. Okay, seems pretty simple, huh? So go ahead and try these problems and see how you do. Sorry, there's an ugly underline. Okay, so try those problems. You can pause the video, and then when you're done trying it, we'll try one more. Pause the video now. Okay, so here's the other one. I want you to try. And this one, it only has one mixed number, so you don't need to worry about changing both sides to be improper fractions, just one side. Okay, so pause the video, try this one, then check your solution with mine. All right, I hope you paused the video. Here I go. So, I rewrote the equation, except for I changed my second one, or the one on this side, okay, the right side, I changed it to be 18/5. Right, so write it as an improper fraction. Then, I bring that down, and I'm going to multiply by what? By my multiplicative inverse. If I do something on this side, is it still equal to the other side? Not at all, until I multiply the other side by the same thing. Then I'm keeping it balanced. I'm keeping it balanced. Whatever I did on this side, I did on that side. It keeps it balanced. It keeps it equal. Okay, once I have that, I end up with x equals 27/5 after cross-canceling. Okay, can I cancel 18 and 2? Yes, I can. But can I cancel 3 and 5? No, I can't. Okay, and that's why we have such a big number, 27/5. Can I leave it like this? Am I done? No, we'd like you to rewrite it in proper form, which means equals to 5 and 2/5. All right? So, essential question, how can I get x alone? Do you know the answer? And I hope so. If not, you can watch the video again and enjoy all of my mistakes. Okay, but it is by multiplying the rational coefficient by its multiplicative inverse. I hope you liked our first online lesson, and I hope there's more to come.